Hello one and all, and welcome to episode 3 of the Dortmund Beta Save with me, Throughball FM. Today we've got a massive fixture against Barcelona in the Champions League. Okay, so you might have noticed there, just in that little intro, that we weren't top of the league, and we aren't top of the league, and we probably aren't going to be at any point in this season. I know that sounds a little bit pessimistic, but after our 2-2 draw against RB Leipzig in the first Bundesliga game of the season, we drew 1-1 against Hanover, where we tried to play the offside trap, and Bobby Wood's got some pace in behind, so he exploited that. Got in and scored in the 17th minute before Bertrand Traore got himself another goal for us in the 46th minute, and it remained that way until the end, and we drew 1-1. Then we played against Eintracht Frankfurt, and we got FM'd. There's no two ways about this. I mean, you take a look at the stats. See, we dominated the game up until I think it was about the 80th minute. They had like two shots and two on target. I think as we pushed more and more, they were able to counter and get some shots on target. Jonathan de Guzman, the former Swansea player, scored a free kick, and Jadon Sancho did manage to equalise in the 87th minute, but we were very, very close to losing that game. Right, so today then we are going to take on Barcelona in the Champions League. Barcelona in our Chelsea save last year's game on FM18 were a massive thorn in our side, Luis Suarez in particular, but hopefully we can avoid that. And actually today, to sort of counter that, we're going to go with a different tactic today. Usually we would play with this tactic, which is the tiki-taka style, positive, but I just think away from home at the Nou Camp against Barcelona, I don't think we're going to be able to do that, so we're going with the fluid counter-attack style. A little bit of news to bring you before we get into the game against Barcelona. We did bring Marcos Rojo in on loan from Manchester United and loaned out Dan Axel Zagadou, who initially I didn't want to go out, but the team felt there was a lack of depth in defence, so I thought I'd bring somebody in. Right then, so in terms of team selection, there are a few tired players in the squad. You can see that Lucas Piszczek's not up to match sharpness, but we're going to go with him anyway. Rafael Guerreiro is looking pretty tired. But unfortunately, Marcel Schmelz's picked up quite a big injury, so we're going to be unfortunately unable to put him in as backup for Guerreiro, so he's going to have to play. Julian Weigl is looking a little bit tired, but again, probably want him in there. So in terms of this tactic, we've just switched the attacking midfielder for a defensive midfielder, and that's going to be Axel Witsel playing as the deep line playmaker today. Bertrand Traore is looking very tired, so he comes out for Jadon Sancho, who's going to play on this right hand side as the inside forward. We might just change him up to a winger actually, as he's right-footed, so we'll put him on support. Paco Alcacer is going to start up front, who's been massively overwhelming, massively underwhelming so far this season. But interestingly, he's playing against his parent club, which is strange. And so let's get into this game. I'm looking forward to this, boys. Right then, so Barcelona going with the same formation as we do. Jordi Alba, obviously the team speaks for itself, really. I mean, there's no Lionel Messi in the starting lineup, and he's not actually on the bench, so he must have picked up an injury. You can see they've signed Thomas Meunier, and he's on the bench today. But yeah, Barcelona go with a pretty strong squad, as we all know. You know, Coutinho, Dembele and Suarez up front is a very formidable front three. Obviously, Ousmane Dembele was signed from us for a hefty amount of money. I think it was in the region of about 100 million, something like that. Yeah, 92 million pounds from Barcelona, so from Borussia Dortmund. So big signing for them. I'm going to tell the players today that there's no pressure, because there isn't any pressure. We're away at the Nou Camp. There's only Buki seems relaxed. I'm going to give some faith out. Jadon Sancho's reacting to that, but Jadon Sancho actually did bag himself a goal, obviously, in the last game, so hopefully he can replicate that today. Right then, so we walk out at the Nou Camp. I am actually loving the sort of new look of the players. You can see my manager on the touchline looks a bit like a player, which is probably not ideal, but Sancho comes forward straight away, and it's a good sliding tackle from Sergio Busquets. But no, I'm loving the look of the player models on this year's game. They look like they've been completely remodelled. And you know, we're actually faring fairly well in this first half so far. 14 minutes gone, and we have our first highlight, as that's caught by Jordi Alba. Felipe Coutinho coming in on his right foot, as he likes to do. That's a great save from Roman Burki. Rakitic with the corner. Ivan Rakitic, World Cup finalist with Croatia. Umtiti, and he tacked off the line. Handball by the Barcelona player. The highlight after 20 minutes as Piszczek throws it in, but it's to nobody, and Luis Suarez is back there doing the dirty work, as he so often does. Ter Stegen now, running out with the ball. He's come to almost to the halfway line. That was crazy. It's almost a fantastic pass, but Guerreiro does mop up, and we can now build from the back, as Burki has it in defence. Diallo. It's a good pass now for Marco Reus. Paco Alcacer, great tackle by Sergio Busquets, and Barcelona now can build. Piqué, Dembele coming inside onto his left foot. Ousmane Dembele gone sailing over the crossbar. That's fair enough. Barcelona are just now turning the screw a little bit after 25 minutes. A lot of shots probably from range. You see Coutinho there was offside. Piszczek with a foul. Jordi Alba's picked up a booking and we're not really posing much of a threat. I played Sancho basically in the hope that he could, spring the counter quite quickly, but that doesn't seem to have been the case. Right then, it's half time, and Barcelona haven't really threatened a great deal. We've actually kept possession more than they have, which is really strange, considering that we're playing on the counter. But Thomas Delaney's won back possession really well, which is nice. Diallo has lost possession, so maybe indicates that we're losing the ball. Not trying to knock it forward. And poor shots to touches ratio in the penalty area. I'm going to say give the fans a performance to cheer for. Again, I'm going to give some faith out because those team talks just don't seem to work. We're doing okay so far, I think. I mean, one thing that isn't on this little menu here, which I do like to have on, is long shots. Sorry, we're going to put that in there. So you see 4 of Barcelona's 10 shots have been long shots, which is almost half, so that's not too bad really. It shows that we're kind of defending our area, if you like. Throwing for Barcelona after 52 minutes. Coutinho again cutting inside. We don't get out very quickly, and Suarez has put that wide. I think he was offside anyway, but it would have. I don't know actually. I think, but we've got a highlight now. Piszczek, Weigl on the edge of Barcelona's area. Piszczek down the right hand side, crosses with his left, but he's lost it, and Barcelona can break now. Coutinho, he's just drifted past. I think it was Weigl. Coutinho, it's wide. 60 minutes gone and we're still 0-0. A draw away against Barcelona will be an absolutely amazing result, really. I actually just realised, Suarez with the free kick, but I've actually just realised that I don't think I showed you the group. I think I've just showed you the fact that we were playing against Barcelona, but anyway, I apologise for that. I will show you the group now. Right then, so this is our group. There's us, Barcelona, Galatasaray and Ludogorets. So we've actually had quite a decent draw, I feel, and I think that it's not the results against Barcelona that are going to affect the outcome of whether we qualify or not, in all honesty. It's the results against these two teams, Galatasaray and Ludogorets. But yeah, that's our group. We're in Group B, so apologies for not showing you that earlier because that would have made sense. Right, so back into the game, and Barcelona have obviously been the more dominant side, but they've only had 5 shots on target from a possible 18, and we are just going to make some substitutions. I think I'm going to get Rafael Guerreiro off because he's looking tired. It doesn't seem to quite match up. See, Marvin Hitz there came on, and so we're going to get Marcos Rojo on for Rafael Guerreiro in left back and just change him to a full back. Axel Witzel's having a good game, so we're going to leave him on there. Julian Weigl can come off for Sebastian Rode, who's going to go as a ball-winning midfielder on support. We'll probably just change him to defend. Sebastian Rode can go there. Hopefully solidify up that midfield, and we're actually going to take off Paco Alcacer and bring on Bertrand Traore as an advanced forward, so that if we are knocking balls over the top, he can latch onto them because he's very pacey. I don't usually like doing a bit of a triple substitution, but Rojo, with his first involvement in a Dortmund shirt, throws the ball in, and that's given away by Royce. Jordi Alba now, Coutinho, Arthur, the little bunny bear, and we do win it back, but it's given away straight away, and that's really poor. Arthur, Jordi Alba, Sergio Busquets, Arthur, Vidal, Arthur again. Is he going to pass it to Buster? Dembele, crossed in, Suarez, Luis Suarez, put wide again by Suarez. And we're hanging on boys for dear life. 82 minutes gone and we have a highlight. Piszczek's pushed right up there on the right hand side, and it's a nice ball from Berkey to pick him out as Sebastian Rode gives it straight away, and that's terrible. Look at the space that Suarez has got. He's not going to miss from there. That is absolutely terrible. That was all our own doing. What was Sebastian Rode doing there? So you can see Sebastian Rode just give the ball straight to Arthur. I don't know what he was trying to do, and we're going to have to come out and try and attack in the last few minutes, which isn't ideal against the Barcelona side that's massively good on the counter. So I mean, quite often there's nothing you can do when things like that happen, and we've defended well for the whole game. It's just that unfortunately that one kind of missed it. That was a massive chance for Ömer Toprak there in the final minutes of the game to win the game, and he's just headed it straight at Marc-Andre ter Stegen. We've been unlucky really to lose this game. I mean, I know that Barcelona have only had one clear-cut chance. I know they've had a lot of shots, but the majority of them haven't really threatened, to be honest. Barcelona have been fairly wasteful, apart from obviously that cheap goal that we gave away. Sancho's won it back. Jadon Sancho, can he release Bertrand Traore through the middle? Sebastian Rode, Witzel, and Sancho's down the right hand side, but Umtiti is there to field the ball down the side. Rode, PK heads away, and Barcelona now can probably end the game. So that does it then. The full-time whistle is there, and we come away from the new camp with a 1-0 defeat, which isn't the worst result in the world. I think obviously it could have been much worse, couldn't it? I'm going to say unlucky. It would have been nice to win there, but it wasn't to be. Ömer Toprak missed that massive chance in the final minute there, and it would have been nice for him to actually get an equaliser, and we could have taken a point away, which would have been an absolutely fantastic result, but it wasn't to be. Unlucky boys. And they're all relaxed and motivated. Seeing the other game in our group, that Galatasaray actually beat Ludogorets 1-0 with a goal from Hoslu, which does look like the Newcastle Hoslu is on loan from them. So Galatasaray have beaten Ludogorets, who probably are expected to be the whipping boys in this group. So then things aren't looking awfully positive, are they, for us? We've got our next game is against Hoffenheim in the Bundesliga, which I'm not going to play in this episode. I think my episodes have potentially been too long for the first couple of ones, but I think that was partially because I wanted to get into the game and I wanted to play games and sort of show off a bit of the gameplay, but also obviously because I was excited about the game, I wanted to play more of it on camera and things. But I think from going on, we're probably going to play one game on camera, that the episodes will be a little bit shorter. We've got Hoffenheim, which we're going to play behind the scenes, then Nuremberg and Bayer Leverkusen. I think what we'll do is we'll probably come back for the Augsburg game and get a few of these games out of the way. Our first game against Bayern Munich is in November, which we will come back for. Obviously, I think that's one of the main games of the season, and as the Champions League progresses as well, we'll probably come back for another game that of importance, if there is one, to be honest. Like I say, it's not been an overly positive start to the season, and that actually the 3 draws in the Bundesliga see us languishing in 10th position, with Bayern already on 9 points and haven't conceded a goal. I think we probably could have predicted that, couldn't we? But at the same time, I think we need to start picking up points, and top 4 ultimately is the aim this season. As you can see, I have implemented the face packs and the logo packs, and all the graphics are in there now, so you can look forward to seeing that when I'm playing against different teams like Galatasaray, etc, etc. But that does bring us to the end of the episode, and I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you're enjoying Football Manager 2019. If you could drop me a like, comment or subscribe, I would be most humbled. There's links to my Patreon, my Twitter and my Twitch accounts in the description. If you could go and support me on those as well, that would be fantastic. And just share the video if you can, get it out there, get people watching it, and just thanks again everyone for watching now. Bye bye.